over them. Thank you so much. You may be seated. And before I start, I also like to give all glory to God, giving glory to Pastor, to the ministers, and of course to you, church. Thank you so much for coming out today, to hearing the word of the Lord. Amen. So I want to give you the title. Okay, so you got a pen, go ahead and write this down. You got to get a phone, go ahead and type this. The Lord has your victory. The Lord has your victory. If you were in the first service, you heard a lot of this already, but don't be surprised if you catch some new stuff as the Lord's sharing it with me. When I was a kid, I used to read a lot of books, and one book that I was surprised with was written by a man named Dwayne Johnson. You might know him as The Rock. He just came out with a movie called Rampage or whatever. You know, he's doing his thing. But anyway, he was in wrestling at the time. Okay, strictly wrestling, and he wrote a book about it, and that was the first time I realized wrestling was fake. Did I ruin it for some people? Did y'all think it was real? Y'all thought it was real, huh? Okay, well, it's not. And the thing is, it's staged. All right, it's not just, there's wrestling in the Olympics. No, it's not like that. It's more of a stage thing. And so knowing that, I got the opportunity to watch WrestleMania last week, which was awesome. But here's one thing I realized is that when it's staged, you know if you're going to win or lose. Okay? And no matter how big of a person you are and you're walking out, you know how they walk out to the music like, hey, I'm cool, you know what I'm saying? They do all that stuff. But no matter how they walk out, to me it's always evident if they're going to win. Because subconsciously they show it on their face. Right? They may not have the same strut as if they did when they were going to win. So, it's crazy. When you know that you have the victory, it's easy to become a victim. And in this story we read, Gideon is the victim. At least he's playing the victim, right? So we see what's going on. Just give you a little background is that the Midianites, everybody say Midianites. Midianites. Those are the cousins of the Israelites. Okay? Really quick, I'm going to share something. I heard a minister say, he said, I was looking at aquariums. And there's many aquariums for jellyfish, aquariums for lobster. And he was looking at an aquarium for crabs. And you see, an aquarium for crabs has no lid. It has no lid. And the reason why it has no lid is because whenever the crabs see another crab crawling out, they reach up and pull them down. You ain't going nowhere. Come on. And what the minister said is, he sees a lot of crabby Christians. You see, the Midianites were distant cousins, or they were close cousins, right? But how many of you know today that sometimes your oppressors come from your own family? Your oppressors come from your own family, or even your friends. You thought they were close, but then they're crabby. Boom! Oh, you got a blessing? Hi. And they put on a front. Like everything's okay. But they just hurt you. So that's why Gideon's feeling victimized. The Bible calls them like locusts. The Midianites were going, every time that they were about to reap a harvest, they're going over the land, burning all their crops. Like, yeah, for 7 years. For what? Just because. Just because they want to oppress them. And that shows me something very powerful in the text. You see, Satan's had the same tactic for a very long time. When God has a harvest for us to reap, Satan is going to burn those resources, or he's going to try. You see, Satan has set us up. I'm sorry, Satan has set us up. Well, yeah. God has set us up to be prosperous. But Satan plunders our progress with setups. Okay? So God has set us up to be prosperous, but Satan plunders our progress with setups. Don't you know Satan loves to set us up? And let's go back to the victim. I have a question. Where in your life right now do you feel like a victim? Are you being taken advantage of? Are things not going according to plan? Maybe you're being bullied. This is not just for you, this is for the adults too. Maybe you've been bullied at school, adults, maybe you've been bullies at home. Again, the oppressors may come from the old household. see, Gideon was in the midst of his victimhood, okay? But God was going to bring him to victory. And this is the road that started. So here we go. The victim, okay, he was over here in the wine press. A wine press is an enclosed